So we need to talk. It has come to my attention that one of my recent videos about No Nut November might have left some of you confused about my stance when it comes to semen retention and not ejaculating. After all, I have been teaching Tantra for many years now and advocating for the beautiful, ecstatic, amazing rituals and tools and techniques of tantric lovers that can be used in the modern world by both men and women in their relationships and in their bedrooms. And one of these practices is semen retention. And what I mean by that is both being able to last as long as you want in a particular sexual encounter, whether that's half an hour, or longer, even multiple hours, but also choosing to ejaculate less in general, so that instead of spilling your semen and releasing it every single time you get aroused and have sex or masturbate, you can actually go for prolonged periods of time without ejaculating. And here I am releasing a video on No Nut November saying very, very clearly and very strongly, don't do it. It's not gonna do anything for you. It's not gonna help you in any way. You're not gonna get any sort of powers from it. It's a waste of your time, a waste of your energy. Just don't. And by the way, if you don't know what I'm talking about, No Nut November is an online challenge for men to go for the entire month of November without ejaculating. So what's actually going on here? Like, what's the reason for me not supporting No Nut November, even though it seems to be in line with Tantra and Tantric practices for men that I talk about so highly and speak about so highly? Well, the reason is actually very, very simple. No Nut November and semen retention are two very separate, very different things. They're not the same, they don't have that much in common, even though it might seem like that on the surface, but at their core, they're actually completely different, which is why I don't equate them. They're not the same thing. So let's start with No Nut November. This online challenge asks men to not ejaculate at all during the entire month of November because, and I quote, if you can't do it, then you're addicted to ejaculation. Now, I don't actually agree with that presumption, with that statement. I don't know any other sexologists who would agree with that. So this is purely something that internet users have come up with. And that's actually the first problem with No Nut November, that the very premise of the challenge is false and wrong, because it's entirely not true that if you cannot go through a month or any month really without ejaculating, that you are addicted. Like, that's not true. Second of all, No Nut November proponents tell you to simply not ejaculate without really giving you any advice about what to do with all that sexual tension, sexual frustration, and sexual desire in your body. As we all know, men have a lot of testosterone. Their balls, their testicles are producing sperm, and that sperm wants to be released. So there is that urge, there is that desire in the body to ejaculate on some kind of regular basis. And doing the No Nut November challenge is basically denying your body its right to do what it biologically was wired and designed to do. And if you ask any guy who tries to go for an entire month without ejaculating, he will tell you that what results is tension, discomfort, blue balls, which is the discomfort or even pain in the scrotum when the arousal is not released, sexual frustration, and eventually wet dreams. Wet dreams being a sexual dream where your body releases and ejaculates when you are asleep, so you have no control over that and you cannot stop it. So No Nut November offers you absolutely no plan how to deal with all of that, no tools to take care of your body so that you can actually go through this challenge without going into depths of tension, frustration, discomfort, etc. And that just doesn't make sense. Torturing your body and going through these kind of uncomfortable sensations and experiences, like, what's the point of that? You're basically denying yourself the amazing, proven benefits of an orgasm, of a regular orgasm, when it comes to your physical health, your mental health, and your emotional health. And you might be also putting strain on your relationship if the going through No Nut November challenge is actually affecting your sex life together with your partner. So all in all, I really do not see any good reason to participate in No Nut November. But let's talk about semen retention now and how it's actually different from the NNN challenge that we've just discussed. Because even if you know absolutely nothing about Tantra and Tantric traditions and Tantric sexual practices, you probably have heard of men who can last in bed for hours without releasing, without ejaculating. And that is absolutely true. Tantric men can control their bodies and train their bodies so that not only they can last in bed for as long as they want and choose to last, but they also can go for prolonged periods of time without releasing at all, whether that's weeks, months, or even years in some cases. But they do all that with a plan and with a very specific strategy that allows them to do that easily, or much more easily than just going through No Nut November, and with a plan of action. Obviously, how easy it actually will be for you to practice tantric semen retention depends on how well you've trained your body with tantric tools and practices and techniques. But in a nutshell, it is about using your mind, using your body, using your muscle control, and using your breath differently so that you can literally teach your body to ride the waves of arousal, to stay in states of arousal, and then to move and expand that arousal through your entire body so that you basically are experiencing full body orgasms where your whole body is tingling and vibrating with that orgasmic energy, instead of having all that energy just kind of stuck and sitting in your genitals, in your scrotum, in your pelvic area as tension and frustration. And these techniques are really easy and available to anybody who is wishing to play with Tantra and play with tantric practices. You don't need any particular equipment or any particular physical tools to purchase or acquire. You don't need to study for years or meditate in caves. You don't need to do any of that. You can very simply learn how to use your breath, your awareness, and your muscle control in order to train your body and teach your body how to be a tantric lover. I won't be teaching you how to do that in this video. This is not the topic of this video. If you want to, please refer to my very simple to follow but very comprehensive online course for men, Tantric Mastery, which will teach you within 7 weeks only everything you need to know about Tantra, tantric practices, and being a tantric lover in the modern world. If you enroll in this program, yes, you will be able to last in bed for as long as you want. You will be able to practice semen retention and not ejaculate for prolonged periods of time. And you also will be able to experience these full body orgasms, these expanded states of blissful ecstatic energy expanding and moving through your entire system from head to toe, not just sitting concentrated in your genital area. So make sure to check out the course. I have linked it in the description bar below. And that is basically the reason why I support semen retention, tantric practices of semen retention, why I do not support No Nut November at all. I hope that this makes sense and explains and clears the confusion around this topic. If you enjoyed this video, please leave me a like and also leave me a comment below. What do you think about these different practices, these different ways of approaching not ejaculating, whether from the tantric perspective of semen retention or whether the way that No Nut November proponents are advocating or talking about this topic? I find this entire area extremely fascinating and exciting to talk about, and I love having chats with you guys in the comment section under my video. So please leave me a comment. I read them all, I respond to them all, and I cannot wait to talk to you about this topic.